3 Jack Della Maddalena strategies that you use to win the UFC welterweight gold, and they're quite simple. You can actually steal them. Number 1 is the jab and duck. Now, there's a few reasons why this is great, and there's a few ways people do it wrong all the time. But Jack Della Maddalena was doing it the correct way. He's using the jab, duck, jab, duck. Why was this really great? Well, it allowed him to lower his base, make him harder to shoot on. A lot of people saying that Belal should have been shooting more, but it's actually harder to shoot if someone's staying a little bit low, and it gives him this drive in each direction. Jab, duck. He can either cover distance really quick and push in using his back leg, or if he had to, which he had to many times in the fight, he can back off. And when he was backing off, he was staying low. He wasn't jab, duck, flying back up, asking for the overhand right. If you've got a wrestler who's trying to hit you with an overhand right or shoot in on you, boom, he's getting behind his shoulder, making it harder for that overhand right to hit. And if they're trying to shoot, boom, he's getting his head in good position. Well, how people do this wrong a lot is they'll jab and lean, which makes them easier to tie clinch, easier to knee, easier to uppercut, or they'll jab and they'll spread the feet as they duck. If I spread my feet too wide, I've got no power, no mobility to push off forward and back. If my feet are a little bit closer shoulder width, I can push back really quick, I can push forward really quick. The next thing is this no telegraph cross. You could almost call it like a ghost cross. So he's moving, he's using this dip of his head, he dips his shoulder in line with the chin of Belal Muhammad, whether he was orthodox or whether he was southpaw, and he throw this cross. Instead of driving it from the floor, he almost lead it from the knuckles, boom, and then use his feet to get out. A little bit Eddie Alvarez. So there's not as much power on it, but it comes out really quick. It's almost like a jab off the backhand, and he often let his feet follow and go off to the side. And you can two-phase off of this, especially from southpaw, and rip into his longer combinations. So what he's doing is ideal position, shoulder in front of chin for that straight. He's just kind of bobbing, gets in the right position, pops it out. It's a bit of an arm punch, and then his body follows through after. The third thing is the dip cross. This is the opposite because he's actually loading it up. But you can't tell he's loading it up because he's got this movement, he's jabbing, ducking, he's slip, side to side, boom, 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 and then suddenly he's dipping. He's using a slip. Even if a punch wasn't coming, he's slipping, loading his weight onto his back leg so he can fire a much harder cross. So instead of launching just his arm out, more of like an arm punch, he's disguising it, boom, 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 and then hitting with power. And again, he could two-phase off of it, boom, pivot, boom, 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 rip to the body from orthodox or southpaw. What's really good about that is, again, it's disguised because he's been jabbing, ducking the full fight. He's disguised because he's been dipping his head side to side the full fight. You don't tell he's actually loading up a really hard cross. And if you dip, generally people keep their hands on the same level as your chin or your hands. As you dip, the hands might drop of your opponent. They might meet that same level, and then you can get hit by the cross. Those are 3 strategies that you can use that Jack Della Maddalena used against Belal. Probably made it harder for Belal to shoot, that he was using these dips and getting his head in a good position. So he's got that frame ready. Belal clinched. Other than that, subscribe, check out Patreon, do things.